Family, today I'm not here to sugarcoat. I'm here to tell the truth many don't want us to speak out loud. In South Africa, in the so-called Rainbow Nation, people are still segregated, judged, and punished according to the color of their skin. We were told 1994 brought democracy. We were told apartheid is over. But open your eyes. Look around. The reality is different. Whites, blacks, Indians, and coloreds living separately, worlds apart in one country. A country where racism is not a ghost of the past, but a living, breathing demon walking freely in the streets. The victims, the majority, black South Africans, brothers and sisters, we are still carrying the heaviest cross of racism. Let me take you to the farms, where the land that was stolen centuries ago, is still controlled by a white minority. Farms where our people go to work from sunrise to sunset, treated not as human beings but as tools, disposable, replaceable, breakable. True stories, my people. These are not rumors. These are the lived experiences of our people. Case 1, talking about one of the most disturbing racist incidents in South Africa's recent history. In 2005, at the University of the Free State UFS, a group of white male students filmed a racist video where they forced black female workers, mostly cleaners, to eat food that had been urinated on and contaminated with human waste. This video became known as the Rietz 4 incident, named after the Rietz student residence where the perpetrators stayed. The video showed the students mocking the workers, making them participate in degrading activities while laughing at them. Sparked outrage across South Africa and the world, highlighted how racism still thrived inside universities even after apartheid, led to protests and debates about transformation in higher education. The 4 students, dubbed the Rietz 4, were eventually taken to court, but many people felt justice was weak compared to the humiliation the black women endured. Case 2. Go back to 2017 in Mpumalanga. 2 white farmers, Willem Oosthuizen and Theo Jackson, forced a young black man, Victor Mlotshwa, into a coffin. They locked him inside. They threatened to set him on fire. But our people are still being shoved into coffins alive because of the color of their skin. That is not just racism, that is terrorism. Case 3. Across Free State in Northwest provinces, countless farm workers report being beaten, their wages withheld, their families evicted without cause. And when they try to speak, the police look the other way. Because in South Africa, racism is not just an individual act. It is protected by systems. Family, the land is still in the hands of the few. The minerals, gold, platinum, diamonds, coal, all controlled by corporations and families who inherited their wealth through apartheid theft. Meanwhile, the majority of black people swimming in a pool of poverty. And here's the dangerous part. If you, as a black person, dare to speak up, if you raise your voice against this oppression, they will brutalize you. They will call you a radical. They will target you. Many of our leaders, activists, and ordinary workers have been beaten, silenced, or even killed for standing up against racism in this so-called democracy. So I ask, what democracy is this? What rainbow nation? When the majority cannot breathe freely, cannot work with dignity, cannot walk without fear of being judged, harassed, or killed because of skin color? This is not just history repeating itself. This is history that never ended. South Africa, we need to face this truth. Reconciliation without justice is nothing but a lie. We cannot heal if the land remains stolen. We cannot heal if racism is tolerated in silence. And we cannot heal if black lives are still disposable in the land of their ancestors. Family, last time we spoke about the land, about the farms, about how racism in South Africa is not a ghost, but a demon still alive. Today, we shift to another battlefield, a battlefield where the scars are invisible, but the damage runs deep. Education and institutions. They told us education would be the great equalizer. They said, study hard, go to school, go to university, and you will succeed. But what they never told us is that the very doors of these institutions were built to lock out the black child. Let me break it down. Case 1. In universities across South Africa, black students are still treated like intruders. Remember the case at the University of Free State where black workers were humiliated, forced to eat food that white students had urinated in? That was not 1960. That was post-apartheid South Africa. Think about the cruelty to dehumanize someone who looks like your mother, your father, your uncle, and then laugh about it. Case 2, fees must fall. Black student rose up, demanding what should already be theirs: free, fair, and equal education. What was the response? Police in riot gear, rubber bullets, arrests, students beaten and jailed for daring to say, education cannot be a privilege of the rich and white. Case 3, daily discrimination. Black women in schools told their natural hair is untidy, unprofessional. Black students being told their accents are wrong, their presence a problem. Family, this is not education. This is psychological warfare. And what about the justice system? Let's not pretend. The prisons are overflowing with young black men while corrupt elites walk free. If a black man steals bread because he is hungry, 5 years behind bars. But if a politician or a billionaire steals millions from the people, they get bodyguards, fat salaries, and a state funeral when they die. Where is the justice in that? The system was never dismantled. It was repainted. Different colors on the walls, same rotten foundation underneath. Family, here's the bitter truth. Racism in South Africa is not only on the farms, it is written into the classrooms, the courtrooms, the hospitals, the banks. And every time we normalize it, every time we stay quiet, we are digging our own graves. But silence cannot win. That's why the youth are rising. That's why voices on campuses, in townships, in rural villages are saying, enough. And let me tell you, family, no matter how much they try to silence us, no matter how many bullets they shoot, truth will always echo louder than lies. The classroom must not be a prison. The university must not be a battlefield. And this so-called justice system must stop being a weapon against its own people. Until then, the Rainbow Nation is just a painted sky hiding a storm. Let's not lie to ourselves. Politics in South Africa has become a marketplace. And the currency? Black suffering. The promises of 1994. A better life for all. But what did we get? RDP houses falling apart, unemployment rising, youth without jobs, and corruption eating the state alive. While the poor queue for water, leaders queue for tenders. The Marikana Massacre in 2012, remember? 34 black mine workers shot dead by police for daring to demand a living wage. Killed not by the apartheid regime, but under a democratic government. That day, South Africa's leaders showed us whose side they were on. Not the workers, not the poor, but the corporations who profit from our minerals. State capture, load shedding, service delivery collapse. Billions stolen while the people sit in the dark. Leaders flying business class, dining in luxury, sending their children to private schools overseas, while the majority struggles to put bread on the table. Family, let's call it what it is, betrayal. Because liberation without accountability is just another form of slavery. They use the struggle songs, the slogans, the red t-shirts, the green berets, the speeches about land and revolution. But when the cameras go off, they shake hands with the same powers that keep our people in chains. And here's the truth no one wants to hear. Many of our leaders are not being targeted by the West. They are being protected by the West. As long as they keep the wealth flowing out of Africa and into foreign banks, the system rewards betrayal. So I ask, who really governs South Africa? Is it the politicians we vote for? Or the corporations, the mining giants, the international powers pulling the strings? Family, until we demand leaders who serve the people, not their pockets, not their foreign masters, the struggle will remain unfinished. Our liberation was not the end. It was only the beginning. This is HB Revo. Stay awake, stay loud, and remember, a leader who fears the people is a servant, but a people who fear their leaders are slaves. One love to all my brothers and sisters. It's your boy, HPY Mr. Revo from Blaze and Debate Podcast. All I want to say is help me out to grow my channel. Please subscribe, hit the bell, like and comment. That will mean a lot to me, and not only for me, but for the Blaze and Debate family. Peace.